Good morning. Good Sunday morning. Today is August 16th. How are you? There's a pesky mosquito flying around, attacking me on this lovely, quiet Sunday morning. I can't quite pin it down, if you know what I mean. So, since my last post, I've given it a really good try in trying to look at my videos from last year and start posting some of them to catch up to today, a year later. I have them. Part of the reasons I did the video was, one, I wanted to see my progress. When I started, my goal range was to lose 50 to 70 pounds. I'm whispering because nobody in my family knows that I'm doing this, so you're going to have to turn up the volume. Or just pass on by if you're irritated. I understand, believe me. The second reason I was doing it is because I used to journal, like my whole life I have, and it's a little bit of a release, honestly, for whatever, for me. But when it came to GLPs, none of my friends were on it yet. I had like one, but when I first started, before I got to where I was supposed to be, I didn't know anybody on it, and all these people that I get together with and have like a really great friend group, all different kinds of minds and personalities, the people who we solve all the world's problems with, they didn't know a thing about it. I mean, I literally had no one to talk to about it. So I resorted to this, like YouTube and whatever social media platforms, anything that I could read. The articles that were in like big publications were so biased and like opinionated, like so many other topics. Anyway, I finally found my online people who are still, who I still go to today for other things. I still follow them. I'm going to do a whole post on my resource bench. Like, I have really learned so much. Okay, since then, I do have a couple of friends who are on it, but it seems like none of them are really as excited about it as me. Maybe they didn't have as much weight to lose as I did. Maybe they just don't want to talk about it, or they're just not as enamored by it. But what has happened with me is it's sparked my interest in how it all works. You know, I finally saw progress with something that, I mean, I think it's like a miracle. And it just has prompted me to understand better, like, what's under my hood. Oh, and if I can improve that base, what other base might I improve? And how about this other one and another one and another one? That's how my brain started working. And as I was learning about the GLP, a peptide, it's actually been around for a long time. It just grew into this other area. And that's where I left off, because I realized I was like too new in the learning phase, and I didn't want to share wrong information. I'm not a medical authority in any way, shape, or form, but I didn't want to contribute to like all the chaos of it all. And so I just stopped posting, and but I kept journaling. And so now I'm going back, and I've got so much content that every time I pull up a video, it freezes within a few seconds. Now, I'm kind of starting to think I'm not going to post them. Because I have to get into my laptop and pull them all up, and I am looking at them. It's also the first time I've gone back and looked at them, like for real. But I can only see so much because they freeze after a few seconds, and I'm like, I got other things to do. But lost any weight in the last year. I've been bouncing the same 5 pounds around for the last year. I've been on a GLP for 2+ years. I started in June 2024. It's August 2026. And dare I say, now I've gotten very close to my goal range of 50 to 70 pounds. I've lost 45 of that, but I've been bouncing the same 5 pounds of 40 to 45 pounds. Part of the reason is because I've been refusing to go up in a higher dose than 10. The highest dose I've done is 11. I actually did quite way better than I thought. I mean, I was actually scared of 10 milligrams. And I knew that's where the shizzle was for a lot of people who had a significant amount of weight to lose. Because if you don't have a significant amount of weight, you will probably never get near 10 milligrams. But now that I only have 20 pounds to lose, I thought I could just like stay on a lower dose. And that wasn't working for me. So I started wanting to try other things, other peptides, other mitochondrial related and or adipose tissue targeting peptides to see if I could shave off this stubborn, my belly fat that I'm like, I would like to wear a belt again one day, which I am now. And I am happy to report that I've lost inches. Like my body has gone through some recompositioning over the last year, but my weight is actually the same. I'm also oftentimes in the same outfit. Like you could pluck me in. I could just pretend right now that I was a year ago. But also some of the information has changed. And so at any moment in time, which is why I always say the date. I mean, the content could be obsolete by the end of the day. It's changing so fast. And so what I'm leaning towards is doing new ones, but with my rearview mirror perspective. And I actually think that's probably more beneficial than posting my real-time ones anyway, because I just didn't know. And I was starting to and this isn't all going to be a peptide channel. I'm not going to be one of those people who comes on and tells you what they all do and how it all works with your chemistry. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not anything. I'm a girl, a 58-year-old postmenopause woman who ended up ordering from the gray market, much to my surprise. I mean, I'm a safety first kind of girl. I work in compliance, for Pete's sake. Like, I am a hall monitor for my company. Can you believe it? Hold on. Sorry, I needed to have a sip of my coffee and a bite of my yogurt. But this is how it all started and how I got there. I am not bragging about that. I need to explain how I got there. It's really important because all of these sources that I have grown to trust, and I still follow them to this day. I'm still learning. And I just happen to be one of those who has like become fascinated at all of a sudden my own biology and how I work under my hood and all these bases that we had, and trying to sort out my calculus equation, and not in a way to land in perfection or in a look at me, I'm in a string bikini kind of, and good for those people, like good for you. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't wear one if I all of a sudden found myself there one day, but that is not my goal. I just want to feel better. I want to look better, and I want to live like my best life between now and the last day on this planet. Like, and I want to, honestly, want to keep healthy enough so my kids don't have to take care of me for a very long time. Like, the least amount of time possible is my goal for them to have to care for me. And you know, I'm approaching my 60s, and so it's, you know, it's a priority. I wish it would have been sooner, but here I am. So I'll take it, better late than never. But how I got to the gray is I tried really hard to find a functional or integrative health specialist. And I mean really hard. All of these like OGs out there are saying, you know, you need to work with a healthcare provider. We understand, we're trying, we can't find them. They are not readily available. In fact, I live in a tri-state metro area. They're not. I've gone on several consultations and paid $200 to a pop to go in and realize I knew more than they did. And I'm not saying that in a braggadocious, like arrogant, like I'm not trying to be anything. I just have done my homework. And to my surprise, that was a surprise for me. I thought I knew way less than anybody. And it scared me. And I certainly, there was a pivotal like turning point for me at some point after how many points? A lot of them. Because it took me a long time. You got to make the appointment. You got to do your research. Then you make the appointment. You got to wait for it. Then you have to take time out of your day to go drive and meet the person. And in many cases, these doctors were throwing these young kids who shouldn't even know anything about peptides because their body's working the way we want ours to. They don't need to be on them. I mean, who am I to say maybe they have a problem? That's different. But I mean, for like cellular turnover and all of that, and unless there's like a chronic condition, which that's a different story. But my point is that these young people, and I'm not discriminating, age discriminating, I needed someone who understood menopause, postmenopause, cellular degeneration, muscle degeneration, bone density degeneration. You know, I'm not, they all, also all four of them that I went to talk to. This took like a couple of months for me to get through, and a couple months before that to find somebody, right? All of them were like, oh, you need to be on this for like some aesthetic reason. It took me 4 appointments to realize they don't get it. Like, I'm not in there for, if I was in for aesthetics, I would be like, I don't even do Botox. I don't do filler. Clearly. I'm really working on like down to my core cellular level and to improve some chronic conditions I've had, gut problems for my whole life. Self-induced from when I was a kid and ate too much candy and junk, you know, whatever. Drank beer and smoked cigarettes at some point in my life. Whatever I did, sat out in the sun too long. I'm from a beach town. My parents had a marina. I've been in the sun. I had a great life. I've had a great life. I've had fun. And so now I'm in damage control. And I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking to live a healthy life. That's my goal. So I want to start with that. And I want to start with that I've tried to find a functional or integrative or some kind of like specialist who can help me try some other peptide therapies because the GLP has been a miracle for me. And I learned about quiet suffering and that I was doing that. And that once my metabolic block was unleashed and I was able to feel better, I realized how bad I felt when I started feeling better. I mean, I've always said, I'm like, you don't know how bad you felt until you start feeling better. I mean, for years, decades, I've been going to the same gastroenterologist for 30 years. I've seen several doctors in that practice. Not one of them has helped me with my inflammatory situation. Not one. Guess what I've done? I would say that I am not 100% cured. I don't even know that I'm cured, but I have improved and so far maintained my gut health 80% improved. I've been suffering with it my whole life. That's a whole separate post. They all are. And so you can see where my faith has waned. I've like done waiting, and I'm also not gonna in a situation where I can wait for the whole medical community to catch up with what maybe some of these other peptides can do. I also am not throwing all this like, this weight in them, no pun intended, that they're miracle cures for everything. They're not. It's taken me a lot of research, a lot of trials, and I have accepted the risk involved. I've tried to get the support that I need, and I'm doing the very best that I possibly can as a human to pull it all together for myself and do my best job for myself. And I'm unapologetic about all of it at this point. And so that's, I don't mean to like get on a major soapbox with that, but that's where we are. It's like everyone's bossing us around, us regular people. I mean, I'm not an extremist. I'm not going and overdosing myself. If anything, I'm probably underdosing. So not even getting the full benefit of the thing. That might be part of my problem. But guess what? I got to learn that by myself too. And I will. But that's my point. I need to like stand up for us regular folks who, are being slammed and like thrown in with this extremist group. I am a normal, safety conscious person, and I'm just trying to improve my health. And the stuff that I've had to date available to me through, I'm not anti-physician. I mean, I'm not anti-pharmacological medication. If I've got an acute issue, I need help. I'm all in. But as far as like chronic conditions for my gut, whatever it is, so far, these things that I've not been able to solve up to this point in my life, I'm working on that on my own at this point. And I need people to get out of my way, and I need people to, whoever it is, thank you to all the people who are making it safe and available for us so far. And thank you for hanging in, because I know the industry, the powers that be, have not made it easy for you either. So that's where I'm going to end with this one. Is I just needed to explain how I got to the gray market. It's not because I was trying to be trending and look better, even though I'm fine to look better. I wouldn't mind improving my looks. I'm actually going to go get my eyes done in September. I'm starting with that, and then I probably will go get a little, but so I'm not, I get all of that. I like beautiful things, beautiful people, but I really like what's under my hood and what people can't see, and how to improve all of that, because if that's in better shape, well, then the rest of it will follow, right? So that's my goal, if anybody cares. So I don't need to get taken off of my social media platform for being irresponsible. I'm trying very hard to be responsible, but the way the world's working, it's not making it easy for us. And that's the end of this post. The next post will be about my NAD experience, my NAD plus experience, which is not a peptide. But I did the injection mitochondrial support formula, and I will tell you where I am with that currently. And then I'm going to follow it up with my gut stack, my peptide stack that I have been trying and other things to improve my gut health and have actually made some significant improvements. And I'm very happy with that. And then I also want to share some of the adipose targeting or adipose tissue targeting peptides that I've tried layering on my GLP in an effort not to go up in dose to shave off some tick marks on my measuring tape and hopefully pounds. And I'll tell you where I landed with all of that. So until next time, you guys have a great Sunday, August 16th, the day after my daughter's birthday, who is turned 26 yesterday. She's my youngest, and I'm having a little bit of for the first time, feelings about, I don't know if it's the age, and I'm going to return 60 in a couple years, well, a year and a couple months. I'm not sure. It's like a combination of that, where I am in my life. I feel very protective over my time and energy. I'm very selfish about it, my time and energy, and how it is I want to spend these last days on the planet. Not last days, years, hopefully multiple years, but days that lead into years. And because I felt like I was getting a little complacent, and if I don't have time to be quiet and think about it, then it's like the universe is going to decide for me what's going to happen between now and the end. And so I feel very selfish about my time. And I don't know. I'm hoping. I've always wanted to be involved in something that is meaningful to me, and maybe this is it. I mean, I feel very passionate about many sides to all of this, and I just want to make sure that I communicate from a consumer standpoint and a postmenopause female standpoint that, no, we're not all extremist. We're just trying to improve our health, and we want to be able to access and afford it. And all those people fighting the big fight might need to take a look at some of this stuff too. So try to keep an open mind, y'all, and keep the kid gloves on, and let's all try to work together and sort it all out. Hopefully sooner than later. Okay, until next time, you guys, I'll see you later.